going on, Cubs fam? It is Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what Monday morning means. We have got another fresh, hot off the press episode of Rogue Actions for you guys. Let's bring him in, everyone. The Hallmaster himself, Urzatron. What's going on, Urza? Are you sipping on some Carillion?
Some tea. It's morning, Cubs.
It's
Monday morning.
How you doing? How was your weekend, man?
It's been a busy weekend. We actually played some board games. We reduced our screen time this weekend with the family.
Okay.
My kids have been sitting in front of computers all week because they're homeschooling right now.
Sweet.
So we had some good board game time. So good weekend.
Good
man.
board game. My family's been playing a lot of games. You know what? I saw something from the CDC today. You know what they suggest?
What's that?
Playing video games while you're quarantined helps keep your mind engaged and helps you keep you from going crazy during this time of staying inside.
We're so far ahead of the curve, Cubs.
My wife told me that. I was like, finally! It's our moment.
It doesn't rot your brain. You know what my mom used to say, Cubs?
Oh, no. Rot your brain? I love it.
She goes, you know, was like playing GoldenEye. She's like, you know, you pulled the trigger. I'm like, what? And then my mom's like, I can't believe I said some of these things to you. Like, you go do your YouTube thing and play video games and have fun.
I remember, not me, but I remember my brother being told, like, you're going to waste your life away or stuff like this. And I'm sitting here laughing now. I'm like, this is literally my career. Yeah, I wasted my life away, totally providing for my family, giving me more time with them. It's funny. Anyway, we got 3 topics as always, and you guys know we're always starting with that meme of the week on my portion. Check this out. This is SWG's Quarantine Starter Pack. You got, let's see here, let's make this bigger. You got posts on the forums. You got packs. You got Hyperdrive Bundle. Oh, this is a bit, here, let's see if I can zoom out on this. There we go. There we go.
Staring at my characters.
Staring at my characters. You're just nothing to do. Opening the game at the store refresh. You got, you know, maybe one event to do. Opening bronziums. Desperately waiting for gear.
I love that one where he's just staring at his characters. That's a 3-part meme where he's like standing in the pool just staring at the wall.
Yeah, the Pablo Escobar. So good.
So good.
I love this. It hits at the heartstrings for me because I'm like, man, CG, we've talked about this so much. You have such a captive audience and they still have not done anything. And I remember there was a post where they actually alluded to doing stuff for us while we're quarantined and they've done nothing.
Nothing.
We don't even have a road ahead.
And you can see by our faces, Cubs, we're shocked.
We're shocked. We're shocked-T. So shocked-T. Let's talk about the road ahead, everyone. We've got the road ahead coming up. Did you think it was going to be last week?
I did. I thought they were going to come out of the gates like a bull busting through that, you know, rodeo pin or whatever. But nothing, man. It was absolutely nothing. Silence and just very troubling, man. It's like they're just sitting back counting their money. It's just like, you know, we speculated for so long that they were just sitting on the relic money and coming out and they would be just fine, but we've seen nothing, man. And I'm hopeful this week, but who knows, man? What do you think?
I'm hopeful too. And you know what? The fact that they didn't share their road ahead last week, I kind of thought that they'd be ready to just charge on through. Like, they have to know. I mean, they have to know that this community is not in a good place right now with what happened with Galactic Legends. And I gotta feel like there's gotta be somebody over there that's like, all right, we've been working on whatever is coming up next, anxious to show us what's next, right? There's gotta be somebody like that. So I'm hopeful, but I still think that they've got something big coming up and it's gonna be in the next road ahead. But man, if we get a road, let me just ask you this question, Urza. Give me your unfiltered take. You can swear if you need to. Cubs fan, forgive him if he does. But if we post a road ahead this week, and it is as bland as we've ever seen, how are you going to feel?
Oof.
Because remember the last road ahead we got, we were like, what?
No. So you go look back at like 4 or 5 rogue actions ago when we were like, Q2's it. They got to start doing stuff.
Yeah.
If they come out of the gate flat again and just start talking about art, like, it's going to be problematic. Here's the thing, Cubs. They have a competitor now, they have MSF. We talk about that all the time. They have this Disney game that we talked about over on my channel. They have things that should be motivating them to do things. So they can't sit anymore. Like, it's time for action, CG. You have to move. You have an audience bored out of their mind looking for alternatives. And it speaks volumes because we just talked about it on my channel.
Yeah.
The DSA game, the Disney Sorcerer's Arena, coming out and doing very well.
Very, very well. And I think I'm going to contend that Disney Sorcerer's Arena is by far the biggest threat to Galaxy of Heroes since Marvel Strike Force. Nothing has come close. And when Marvel Strike Force came out, they really upped their game for a little bit, didn't they?
They did. And that was the point I wanted to make here, Cubs.
Yeah.
We saw them do that effort. Now, here's a wild speculation piece.
Oh, let's go. I like wild speculation. Let's go.
They ended the Game Changer Discord, the former Game Changer Discord that we were both a part of.
Yep.
They ended our test accounts. Those are now gone. Now, could it be that they are ready to restart things with the community, restart things with the content creators, with a new program, and maybe it's Sandbox Mode. That we talked about that before on my channel. The thing that everybody wants. Maybe it's a beta program. Maybe it's something that we've all asked for, a Sandbox Mode. And maybe they're doing that in this road ahead.
Do you really think they want to include the YouTubers on anything?
I think if we've seen a change in leadership, which we're going to talk about that next.
Yep.
If we've seen a change at the top, it could be a full-on system-wide reboot over there. And it could have started with those old test accounts and redoing. I mean, that is wild speculation and wild just hope, but they cannot do nothing anymore, Cubs. They have to act.
Well,
we gave them the benefit of a doubt of an entire quarter.
Yep. And you know what? If they were spending that time to do less with us so that they could do more for the future of their game, I will forgive them. I will go on record and say, I completely forgive you. And I'm sorry for the mean things I said about your really crappy event. It was still crappy, but I forgive the crap. This is poop that was necessary so that we could flush it and move on. I don't know.
Here's the thing. They are a game studio.
Yeah.
And it's not like we always crap on their product.
No.
Like, we're still playing this game. We don't always crap on their product. Everybody loved when they got when TB came out, when GHC came out, we all loved it and we lavished them with praise. It's not all negative here. Like,
how could you have been positive about Galactic Legends? Like, what was there for anyone who thought we should, like, what could we have possibly said that was positive about that?
I mean, the only positive thing that I can come up with in my mind, it was actually something new. I mean, that's it.
It was, in fact, new. I don't know. So, yeah, well, hopefully, I'm going to say I'm hopeful, okay? I'm hopeful. Okay. I really kind of expect this next road ahead, though. I feel like I'm a little bit nervous about it. I might be setting myself up for failure because my expectations are higher. With how much they did not do last quarter, I am expecting this quarter to be big. I'm expecting them to do something.
Yeah, well, I think all we can do is just, they got to come out of the gate hot. And we didn't see anything last week, so hopefully this week, Cubs.
All right, let's move on to the next subject. Now, I got to give this one a little bit of a trailer. A lot of people have noticed, and this is kind of booting off this conversation here, things have just felt really off with CG. The content has been extremely slow. Galactic Legends was just, I don't think that I'm out of line for saying that a lot of people are just scratching their heads going, what is going on? And I actually was doing a little Googling, and this is the former head of the studio's LinkedIn profile. This is public information. John Solera was the general manager of Capital Games. And I thought he still was. He was, to put you in perspective, what the general manager of Capital Games is, this is the guy who's above Carrie. This would have been Mark Dickinson's boss, if Mark
Dickinson's boss,
if he's a real person. And this guy has been at Blizzard since December 2019. He was at now keep in mind, he was at Electronic Arts for 17 years, and with Capital Games since, let's see here, 2013. Since 2 years before Galaxy of Heroes launch. This guy has been the lifeblood of Capital Games, and specifically Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, from before any of us could even download the game. And he's been gone since December.
You go back to 2016 and you watch some of their EA Play event coverage for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. John Solera was on the stage talking about this game at EA Play, and he was very much the original game changers that went out there. Arnold, Remon, Mobile Gamer, Mist, and who was the fifth one?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyways, they went out there, and I think they all got time with John Solera. So for us old timers that followed the game very seriously back then, we knew John was always at the top. And when Kerry kind of took over, he kind of tapered off into the background, and we just assumed Kerry was running everything. Well, John was still there under Kerry.
He was the head. Yep.
He was the head. And now it just mysteriously happened that he went away.
That was quiet, too.
It was quiet. No one noticed it.
I didn't even know until today.
We would have been all over this, Cubs, if we would have known this. We would have said, okay, now there's huge problems. But then, Cubs, you look at the last quarter, and all of a sudden, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
They could be flying blind with no guidance from up top, and just floundering with releases right now.
Yeah, and I think it's a big deal, you know, and I think it might be exactly that, flying blind. I think it kind of explains that things have just felt off because they lost a very key figure over there. And I got to say, I've had conversations with John. I haven't met him in person. I've talked to him on Discord before, and I really liked the guy. I think I don't have any negative thoughts about him, and every indication I had, he was a very solid individual that did a lot of great things for this game. And so I think Galaxy of Heroes lost a great person for that, you know? And so I just wonder, I mean, Urza, do you think this explains what's been going on?
I mean, okay, so we've seen like the new job postings, we've seen the Glassdoor reviews, we've seen the head of the studio gone. They got problems, and they're not communicating to us at all. I mean, all we can do is just point at all of these different things and say, guys, there could be a fire just raging over there, or maybe they're just slowly trying to get it under control. But everything feels very disjointed and very
They've lost, within the last year, they have lost their senior producer and their general manager. The top two people for their game, they've lost both of them. And so I think, if anything, for me, it gives me a little understanding of not only that things have been off, but also that they haven't been communicating. I mean, they might be afraid to communicate now because who's this new guy or new girl, whoever this is? We don't know who it is. I should do some more Googling here and try to figure out who the next GM at Capital Games is. But I think, if anything, it just gives a little context here, and I hope that they're ready to pick up their slack and get some things done this next quarter, Urza.
Yep. I'm not gonna say anything more, Cubs. I think we nailed it there.
All right, Urza, thank you so much for joining me. As always, love having you on a good episode of Rogue Actions. Here's Urza to a good week and a hopeful, solid road ahead this week. All right.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You guys stay positive. We're gonna figure this out. We're together on it.
All right, love you, Cubs fam. Give the video a like if you did enjoy it, and as always, my brothers, don't forget